26 states oppose the Biden vaccine mandate. A former Obama health official hints to forceful vaccinations. Desantis draws his own line in the sand when it comes to these mandates. And all of this leads down a road of disaster for the Biden administration. Hello, all you beautiful and amazing people. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the show. If this is your first time here, I'm your host, Hyde, and this is Hide and Seek Media, where we talk about news, sports, politics, and so much more. So 26 states are opposing the Biden administration. Not long after Joe Biden came out and discussed his 5-part, 6-part, however many part plan it is to vaccinate the unvaccinated, Governor Stitt here in Oklahoma said, "Not here, Joe. We ain't going to have it. There's too many freedom-loving Americans that live in this state to allow you to dictate how and when we get medical procedures or medications given to us. That's not for you to say. That's for our doctors to say, and that's our choice whether to go get it or not." So that's one of my biggest problems with this stupid mandate is we're not mandating people to stop eating sugar. We're not mandating people to stop drinking soda every day, right? We're not mandating people to stop feeding their kids all these sugary drinks and candy and whatnot, right? Giving way to child diabetes and, child obesity and all this. We're not mandating any of that, right? But we're going to mandate that you get a shot for something that is 99.8% survivable. That's kind of odd to me, right? And the other thing is they're not even talking about the unvaccinated who have had COVID and have natural immunity, right? As you saw in my last video, people who have natural immunity are 13 times more protected, right, than people who go and get the vaccine. So people like me who have had COVID, we don't need to get the vaccine. We don't want your vaccine. I'm not afraid of COVID. I don't need it, right? Don't need the vaccine, especially one that doesn't stop me from getting COVID. Now, you come out with a pan-coronavirus vaccine that stops me from getting COVID altogether, and yeah, I might consider that, It's the same with that, because then it puts it in the same wheelhouse as polio and smallpox and chickenpox and whatever else, right? It puts it in that category where if you get this, you won't get it at all. But we're not there yet. So why am I going to, if I survived COVID once, likelihood is I have a good chance to survive it again, and I'm willing to take the chance and roll the dice, right? But then you have these people like this Obama this former Obama official who wants to, he didn't say it outright, but he hinted to, he said, we don't want to have to force people to get it. Well, basically what you're saying is this is your last opportunity to get it before we just start holding you down and jabbing you guys. I mean, he didn't say that, I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but come on. What are we supposed to expect? We heard from everybody in this administration, from the U.S. Surgeon General to the press secretary to Joe Biden himself, saying we're not going to mandate it. We don't need it. That's beyond the federal scope, right? That we can't do that. We're not going to mandate this vaccine.
I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory.
And no federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential.
We're not counting on vaccine mandates at all.
Those are decisions the federal government is not going to make.
You're not going to see a central mandate coming from the federal government.
That's not the role of the federal government.
Yet, here we are, mandating the vaccine because Joe Biden is frustrated and his patients are worn thin. Come on, man. Really? But you have governors like Governor Ron Desantis, who say, no, I'm not going to have this, right? And DeSantis, he's, fining counties and cities that decide they want to, mandate vaccines for their workers. And so all of this is going to lead to bad news for Joe Biden, right? And we're going to get into all that right now. But before we get to that, make sure to click the link down below and join my Locals community where you can get exclusive content found only on Locals. With your monthly subscription, you'll get access to all of my videos, articles, and content found nowhere else on the internet. And if you subscribe in the month of September, you'll be entered into a contest where you can win free merchandise from the Hide and Seek Media store. So make sure to click the link down below and join today. Now, let's get back to the news. They say, we've been warned that vaccine mandates were coming. Names like Jack Posobiec and Tucker Carlson sounded the alarm long ago that this would happen. In fact, Dave Rubin was temporarily banned from Twitter for the claim, although others say it was for misinformation. Yeah, that's a load of crap, okay? We all know that Dave got banned because he talked about boosters before Joe Biden got to talk about boosters. And here's the tweet, as you can see. All right. Although Democrats like Jen Psaki, although Democrats like Jen Psaki, Joe Biden, and Nancy Pelosi promised the American people that vaccine mandates would never come to America, they broke that promise.
Mandate vaccines across the country. No, that's not a role that the federal government, I think, even has the power to make.
There's no secret that I feel that we should not have central mandates from the federal government.
What I think you won't see is a requirement from the federal government to have people get vaccinated.
Joe Biden stood in front of the American people and gave a speech as angry and divisive as it was tyrannical. Joe Biden said, "We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us." So we're not going to mandate it. We're not going to mandate it as long as you all take it and do what you're supposed to do. Be good little sheep and take what we tell you to take. We're the government. You're supposed to trust us, right? So you have these tweets here, right? Ohio opposes, and you have all these red states, right? Then you have Louisiana joins in, right? Look at this. You have Alaska, Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and New Hampshire. All saying, no thanks, Joe. You can keep your vaccine mandate. We don't play by that rule. This is how our government works. We as states have rights as well, and we will not be bullied and pushed around. This is our stand. We say no. We will not comply. So, because we're saying no and we will not comply and we're pushing back, you have people like this clown here, Zeke Emanuel, who was a former Obama health official and bigwig at the NIH, right? According to Steven Crowder here. So listen to what this clown has to say, okay? Listen to what this clown has to say.
You mentioned some of these conspiracy theories out there that, this is not going to influence them. In fact, a mandate is going to have them digging in their heels even more. You've seen the criticism from some of the Republican lawmakers that have come out about the mandate. Is there another step for the holdouts? Or does it matter as long as we reach a certain threshold in this country when it comes to vaccinated population?
Well, you shouldn't be asking me, is there another step for the holdouts? I do think we've gone the extra mile in trying to persuade them, and no one wants to go to force someone to do something, right? You prefer people do it voluntarily because they've been educated and it's been made.
So nobody wants to force them. You prefer they do it voluntarily, right? Are you guys awake yet? Are you paying attention? I hope so, because they aren't even hiding behind the veil anymore. I mean, these guys are out here blatantly saying it. Okay, they are out here just blatantly saying it. We don't care what you want. It's not about your personal freedom and your choice, according to Joe Biden, right? It's about the public health and safety.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with, the people you care about, the people you love. My job as president is to protect all Americans.
No, I'm sorry, Joe, but I hate to tell you this. Your safety and your health is not my responsibility. If you're afraid of getting sick, wear a mask, get vaccinated, stay the hell away from me. That's plain and simple. And I will stay the hell away from you. But that doesn't mean I'm going out and getting the jab. Sorry, bud. Not going to happen. These clowns like this guy here can... Oh, God, man. I tell you what. That's why I love that we have governors like Ron DeSantis, right? You have this story here from timcast.com. DeSantis announces that Florida cities, counties that mandate vaccines will be fined $5,000 per worker. See, that's what I'm talking about right there, right? This is a man who says, nope, Joe, I'm going to do you one better. You want to fine people for not testing and whatever? I'm going to fine those people who are mandating it. We can go tit for tat all day long. That's what this is about. So they go on to report. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has announced that cities and counties that mandate vaccines for government employees will be fined $5,000 per worker. During his speech in Alachua County, DeSantis stressed that government agencies that violate his order will face millions in fines. We are going to stand for the men and women who are serving us. We are going to protect Florida jobs, DeSantis said. We are not going to let people be fired because of a vaccine mandate. The governor was responding to an announcement by President Joe Biden that the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, is working on a rule to require businesses with 100 or more employees to mandate vaccines for their entire workforce, or require the unvaccinated to produce weekly negative test results. The rule is projected to impact over 80 million American workers. Okay, so really what this is this is Joe's way of going around the Senate and the Congress and saying, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't need to make a law. I don't need your approval. I'm just going to do it. Just like he did with the eviction moratorium, right? The CDC comes out and says we're going to, extend that even though Congress didn't, and Supreme Court said, no, you can't. And Joe Biden said, I'm going to do it anyways. Let them sue me over it. He's doing the same thing here. He's telling them, if you're going to sue me, sue me. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways because I'm the freaking president and I'm in control. That's authoritarianism at its best. I mean, how you can't see that by now is absurd. You need to pull the wool off your sheepish face and look at this for what it is. Joe Biden is becoming an authoritarian dictator. His patients are wearing thin.
Let me be blunt. My plan also takes on elected officials in states that are undermining you and these life-saving actions. Right now, local school officials are trying to keep children safe in a pandemic while their governor picks a fight with them and even threatens their salaries or their jobs. Talk about bullying in schools. If they'll not help, if these governors won't help us beat the pandemic, I'll use my power as president to get them out of the way. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Do you see what he's doing? He is separating this country. He's dividing us so that he can take all his sheep, get all these sheeple, right, and just push them all into whatever direction he wants. And when he sees that all his sheep are in where he wants them, and all these other people, all these wolves out here, right, who are still out on the hunt, all these wolves, he'll know who to hunt down. To protect his sheeple, he's got to take out the wolves, right? First, he's got to know where all the wolves are. And that's people like you and me, right? Who don't believe in this crap, who don't believe in this administration, who have no faith in it, who don't believe that this is a legitimate administration. This is like Obama 3.0. But what does all this spell for old Pinocchio Joe? Lying to us, telling us that there was going to be no vaccine mandates, right? That's not what he does. That's not the government scope, right? That's not what the government does. We don't mandate vaccines, Bob. Yeah. Well, this spells disaster. The Daily Wire reports the numbers are in. Polling on vaccine mandate, a very, very bad news for Biden. The numbers are clear. The American people passionately oppose Biden's vaccine mandate. They go on to say, the first polling data on President Joe Biden's employer vaccine mandate were released Monday, and the findings bode incredibly poor for POTUS. The polling was conducted over the weekend by the Convention of States Action and the Trafalgar Group, one of the most accurate pollsters in 2016, 2018, and the 2020 elections. Surveys of likely voters revealed that a majority of the American people do not believe Biden has the constitutional authority to force vaccine mandates on the private sector, and a majority of Americans want governors to fight back against forthcoming Biden orders. When it comes to constitutional authority, only 29.7% of Americans believe Biden is allowed to mandate employee vaccination as he outlined last week, while 58.6% say POTUS has no authority to do so. There you have it. Right? 58.6% believe Joe Biden does not have the authority to mandate vaccines. Yeah, I'm one of those 58.6%, right? Because he doesn't have any authority to mandate that I put something in my body I don't need without my consent, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about. I mean, you heard that guy, Zeke Emanuel or whatever. We don't want to have to force them, but we've gone the extra mile to persuade them to take it. So, but we don't want to have to force them to do it. Well, you're not, because we still have freedoms, right? Like, if my business that I work for, the company I work for, if they decide that they are going to abide by this vaccine mandate and mandate that I disclose to them whether I've been vaccinated or not, and then if I haven't, subject myself to testing every week in order to work for them, they got another thing coming. First of all, they don't pay me enough for that crap. And second of all, they don't have the right to ask me if I've been vaccinated or not. And I don't have to tell them if I've been vaccinated or not. So let's try this out. Let's see how far this actually goes. That's against the law to ask me that question. Joe Biden's vaccine mandate is not law. Asking me about my medications and my medical history is against the law for an employer to do that. And besides, according to the latest job reports, there's what? 11 million open jobs out there. I'm pretty sure I qualify for a few of those. So I'll let the company decide how much I am worth to them. Because if I'm replaceable, then I don't need to work for them. Right? They don't value my skills and expertise enough to warrant keeping me. So I don't need to work for that company. That's how I view it. And that's why I'm taking the stand I am when it comes to these vaccine mandates. I'm not against the vaccine. I never have been. If you think you need it, talk to your doctor. Find out if it's the right thing for you. If you have comorbidities or underlying health issues and you feel like the vaccine would help you fight off COVID or help you, fight off severe illness if you get COVID, then talk to your doctor. But for me, I've already had it. And I survived. I fought it off fairly well. So if I get a severe case, I'm fairly confident that I can fight that off too. Because I'm one of those people who believe in natural immunity. I believe that the human body was designed to fight these things off. You just have to have a strong enough immunity, a strong enough immune system, right? And how do you get a strong immune system? By putting the right kinds of vitamins into your body, daily exercise, eating right, trying to maintain a somewhat healthy lifestyle, if not a completely healthy lifestyle, and not relying on medications to help you through the easiest of things. Let's say allergies, for instance. I have all kinds of allergies, right? So I'm going to break it down for you guys just a little bit on why I really believe that I could fight off COVID even if I got a severe case, right? So I've had COVID already, and I got through it. It wasn't that bad for me at all. I mean, 3 days, bing, bang. And that's with no medication, no, none of that. Some over-the-counter cold medicine, I think, is all I took. And I only took it for 1 day, and that was just to help with some congestion, right? Other than that, I was fine. I was fine. Could breathe fine. I had some body aches and, but other than that, it wasn't that bad. I got through it just fine. 3 days. 3 days, and I was over my symptoms. So, and like I said, that's with no medications at all. That's like I said, I took a little bit of over-the-counter cold medicine the first day I was feeling symptoms because I, was I couldn't breathe and, was kind of congested and, was having some drainage or whatever. And I just wanted to kind of clear my head a little bit. So I took some cold medicine, but that was it. That was it. I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't go to the hospital. I stayed home. I bundled up. I did what I do when I get sick, right? I let my body fight it off as best it can. And that is because I believe in having a healthy immune system, which means while I'm not the perfect specimen of health, I don't work out every day. I don't eat right all the time. I try, right, to eat healthy things and stuff, but I don't do it all the time. Sometimes it is easier just to run through the drive-through. I'm not going to lie, right? But what I do, no, seriously though, what I do is I don't take cold medicine every time I get sick. I don't take aspirin every time I get a headache. I don't take ibuprofen or so, acetaminophen or whatever it is. I don't take any of that crap, naproxen or any of that crap whenever I have back pains, which I have all the time, or aches and pains and body aches. I don't take any of that crap. Okay. When I get a cold, if it's really bad and I'm fighting off some congestion and I want to be able to breathe at night, I'll take some cold medicine, right? To help my congestion, help me breathe. I'll use some Vicks Vapor Rub maybe, right? But for the most part, I bundle up and I let my body sweat it out, fight it out and sweat it out. That's how I've always fought every cold I've ever had. That's how I fought COVID and it seemed to work out for me just fine. So I think I'll take my chances and roll the dice, right? I'll let my natural immunity work to fight off COVID and not some experimental vaccine that's only been out for a year. Okay. I mean, we still don't know all of it. And there are talks of like I said, if they come out with a pan coronavirus vaccine, then now we're in business. I'll line up for that shot. If it's going to guarantee me no more, I won't ever get COVID. Oh shit! It's going to guarantee I won't ever get COVID again. I'll take it, right? But till then, I'm good. You can keep your vaccine mandate, Joe. This leads to a bigger issue that I need to get to, right? So all of these debacles that Joe has had over the last few months, right? We're talking the Afghanistan withdrawal and now this vaccine mandate. All of these latest debacles from the president have led me to believe this can't be an accident. Okay? This can't be an accident. The withdrawal from Afghanistan, that couldn't have been an accident. They had to have known. As a matter of fact, they did know, right? There are reports out there that Joe Biden knew that the Taliban was actually whooping the crap out of the Afghan army, but he told the Afghan president to make the press and make the people believe that it was the other way around because they couldn't have bad press while they were coming out, right? You had to make everyone believe that you were winning the fight, even if it was a lie. Those are Joe Biden's words. So they had to have known this was going to happen. They had to have known it was going to look bad. It was going to turn out terrible, right? They had to have known all this. Just like they had to have known. You can't tell me they didn't do secret polling or quiet polling about the vaccine of a vaccine mandate before he came out with this. I mean, there was another story out there that I read where he talked. According to people, he discussed this with unions and union officials before he came out and did this. Look, this cannot be a mistake. It cannot be a mistake. I think it's done on purpose so that they can, look, Joe's made some mistakes. He's done some bad things, right? We don't know why he wants to do this. I think this is all part of the plan, right? Because the Democrats aren't going to do anything about Joe and his crazy authoritarianism because that's what they want too. So why are they going to get in the way, right? They are going to just sit back and let him burn it down. Little by little, that's what he's doing. Afghanistan withdrawal, oh, that was terrible. We left Americans behind in Afghanistan. You, Joe, I'm sorry, we didn't. You, Joe, you left Americans behind in Afghanistan. And now you're about to force 80 million people to make a decision on whether they're going to keep a job or not because you want to mandate vaccines for everybody. My thing is why aren't we talking about people like me, natural immunity? Joe and his authoritarianism are leading us down a path that we as Americans should stand up and fight against. We have 26 states willing to do it. Now, are the people in those states willing to take to the streets? Because that's what it's going to take. So I'm calling on anybody that watches this video. Share this video with all your friends on all social media. Let's get it out there and let's take to the streets. And if you've made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video and the topic. I love to engage with my viewers, so feel free to fire away. Also, I'm trying to change the URL of my channel to my channel name instead of all these funky letters and numbers up here, right? But the only way YouTube's going to let me do that is if I get to 100 subscribers. So hit that share button and share this video. That's the only way my content's going to get out there, because YouTube sure as hell ain't sharing it. So make sure to share this video. I appreciate all you guys watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.